Hello everyone, welcome again to live session of monologue classes. I'm Dinesh Kumar and I will take your today's The Hindu news analysis. Today is 18th January 2023. So I will discuss the most important news from your examination point of view in today's newspaper. So first of all we discuss Pak PM moods serious sincere talk with Modi. So basically there is a statement of Pak Prime Minister, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, and he has made a statement that the Pakistan wants to have good relationship with India और इनका कंसर्न ये है कि that we have fought 3 wars with India and because of war they suffered a lot of damage to the resources as well as the human resources and other kind of resources. So it has affected the economic condition of the Pakistan. So now they wants to talk or sincere talk with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi regarding the peace between the two countries, means the India and Pakistan. But subsequently the clarification came from the PMO of Pakistan, that is that in a series of tweets clarified that Mr. Sharif had made it clear that talk with India would be possible only after New Delhi reversed the revocation of Article 370 that granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir. So this is important point here. So now we will understand this in brief. So basically what happened, there is Article 370 in our Constitution of India. Now it has been revoked. It was earlier. So this has been revoked in 2019. Now this article used to give special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So earlier we were having 29 states in our country. Right now we have 28 states. So this special status was only given to the Jammu and Kashmir. Why this was given? There is a history behind it. What is the history? I am going to tell you in brief. There were 565 riyasats, total riyasats before the partition of Pakistan in our country. So when our country was divided into two countries, means India and Pakistan, it was said to all the riyasat that they are free to join either part or they are free to join either Pakistan or India. So there was settlement of 563 riyasat. 563 रियासत का सेटलमेंट हो गया था, जिसमें से some of them joined Pakistan and some of them remained in India. But there were 2 riyasats left and one was J&K and other was Hyderabad. So in J&K the king was Raja Hari Singh and the population was, most of the population was Muslim population. So basically king wanted to remain independent or he does not want to join any alliance, means India or Pakistan, but the population wanted to join, Kashmir should join Pakistan. So now there was a dispute and it is alleged that some of the people also tried to attack on the king. So the Pradhan Mantri, former Prime Minister Sri Jawaharlal Nehru ji and Vallabhbhai Patel gave some help to the king at that point of time. So king became agree or he agreed that he would join India, but with the condition that in the state of Jammu and Kashmir his own laws should prevail. So means Raja Hari Singh इस कंडीशन पर ज्वाइन करने के लिए एग्री हुआ कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में मेरे अपने कानून चलेंगे. So we considered his acceptance or his proposal and then we gave the special status to Jammu and Kashmir. So Jammu and Kashmir का जो special status दिया गया था, so earlier although it was the integral part of India, but there were some privileges to that state. Privileges that if we wanted to apply or enforce any Indian law in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, then we need to take the permission or approval from the Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly, which we usually did not get from the Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly. So our very important laws like IPC was also not applicable in the state of Jammu and Kashmir at that point of time. So but our central government or parliament revoked the special status to the Jammu and Kashmir in 2019. So now Pakistani Prime Minister शहबाज शरीफ जी ये कहना चाहते हैं कि वी आर रेडी टू टॉक विद इंडिया, बट वी विल टॉक विद इंडिया ओनली if it will reverse the status or it will reverse the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. Now we come to this news. This is not so important, but UNSC Sanctions Committee blacklist Lashkar-e-Makki after Beijing lift its hold. So basically, Abdul Rahman Makki has been declared as a terrorist, ठीक है, by the United Nations Security Council, and it has imposed some sanctions on this person. So earlier, basically in Security Council there are 5 permanent members and no important decision can be taken in the Security Council without the concurrence of all the 5 members. So earlier China applied veto power against the declaration of this Makki as a terrorist, but now the China has lifted its hold or its veto power. So now this person has been declared as a terrorist according to the list of United Nations Security Council. Now, backing Sri Lanka, India sent financing assurance to IMF. So basically there is a financial crisis in the Sri Lanka. So India has given its financial assistance to Sri Lanka. So the financial assistance is required of assurance is required from 3 countries like China, Japan and India. So India has given its assurance. So this assurance will be given to the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and this will give 2.9 billion package to Sri Lanka. So when these 3 countries will give their assurance to the IMF, then on the basis of that assurance, the IMF will give 2.9 billion package assistance or help to the Sri Lanka, and by this money Sri Lanka will improve its economic position or economic condition. So India has given. Now the 2 countries means China and Japan, these assurance is also required before taking the benefit of this particular package. Now we come to next news. This news is not important. Inflammatory speech, High Court reject Kejriwal plea. But some of the aspect of this news are very important from your examination point of view. Allahabad High Court denied relief to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal by upholding an order of session court that rejected his revision of plea seeking discharge in the case of alleged inflammatory speech. So basically in 2014 Lok Sabha election, Mr. Kejriwal made some inflammatory speech. So in this speech he says that if any person will give vote to Congress और बीजेपी, then उन लोगों को खुदा भी माफ नहीं करेगा. So this is the exact word which he used in his speech. So now an action was brought against Mr. Kejriwal regarding this speech. अब honorable this session court did not give him any relief. Now he approached against the decision of session court to the Honorable High Court of Allahabad. So Honorable High Court of Allahabad also did not give him a relief. So now we will understand what are the legal consequences of this particular speech. So basically he said कि जो भी लोग कांग्रेस को या बीजेपी को वोट देंगे उनको खुदा भी माफ नहीं करेगा. So he used word खुदा here. This word खुदा. अब यहाँ पर हम इसको थोड़ा सा legal consequences इसके समझते हैं. So there is a section in IPC that is 508. And 508 provides that if any person gives threat to another person of divine displeasure means कि God आपका कुछ बुरा करेंगे. So this is an offense under section 508 of IPC. Similarly, if some speech or some words are said in reference to a election, then it will also amount to corrupt practice under section 123 of रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल एक्ट. तो करप्ट प्रैक्टिस क्या मतलब है कि आप धर्म के आधार पर, कास्ट के आधार पर वोट मांगना या किसी भी कास्ट के या किसी भी रिलीजन के पर्सन को ये डायरेक्शन देना या उनके दिमाग में कोई डिवाइन डिस्प्लेजर क्रिएट करना, that if you will give vote to a particular party or political party, then you will face divine displeasure. so जैसे इन्होंने यहाँ पर एक वर्ड खुदा यूज किया है, तो generally this reference was made by the Mr. Arvind Kejriwal with respect to the people of Muslim religion. So High Court, Honorable High Court did not give him any relief and he was not discharged. Discharge को हम समझ लेते हैं. Discharge means when charges are not framed. Charges are not framed against a person. देखिएगा, ट्रायल किसी भी पर्सन का तब होता है जब उसके अगेंस्ट चार्ज फ्रेम होते हैं, और अगर किसी पर्सन के अगेंस्ट चार्ज ही फ्रेम नहीं करते होते, देन नो ट्रायल कैन टेक प्लेस अगेंस्ट दैट पर्सन. So Mr. Kejriwal was demanding that he should be discharged. Means charge should not be framed against him. So if the charges will not be framed against him under these two relevant laws, means one of IPC and other is Representation of People Act, then that person, means Arvind Kejriwal, will not be tried for this offense. Now we come to this news, editorial news. This is not so important, so I will not discuss this in detail, but I will give you some important highlights of this news. So basically there is a article 21 in our Constitution of India, and article 21 says that every person has the right to life and personal liberty. So right to life means it also includes right to livelihood, मतलब उसके पास काम करने के साधन होने चाहिए. अब considering this aspect, our government has made or enacted, our parliament has enacted one legislation, that is NFSA, National Food Security Act, NFSA. अब this NFSA गारंटी करता है कि that every person, whether that person if that person is not able to earn his livelihood himself or herself, then it becomes the duty on the part of the government to provide him food or subsidized food. So in reference to this particular law, so there is a yojana that is known as Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, PMGKAY. According to this scheme, 810 million people will be given free food grain in every month of 2023. So basically the author has raised some concerns regarding this freebies or this free food grain. Now by virtue of this particular scheme, every family, suppose that family is having 5 members, so it will be given 25 kg free food grains. But earlier this was 50 kg. So अब ये जो फूड ग्रेन की क्वांटिटी है ये कम हो गई है. अर्लियर इट वाज डबल, लेकिन डबल कैसी थी? अर्लियर इट वाज 50 आउट ऑफ 25 तो दिए जाते थे फ्री, एंड 25 वाज अवेलेबल एट वेरी सब्सिडाइज रेट, मीन्स काफ़ी कम उस पर होता था, 3 रुपीज़ पर केजी के हिसाब से मिलता था. राइस इसमें दिया जाता था, चावल. नाउ सम ऑफ द पीपल आर कंसिडरिंग दैट it is being done by the present government due to the election. क्यों? Because in 9 states election will take place in 2023, or similarly in 2024 there is election of Lok Sabha. So some of the critics are raising the concern that, or contended that all these measures are taken by the government to allure the person or the citizens of India so that they would give vote in their favor. Now the main flaws क्या है इसमें, इस स्कीम में flaws क्या है? This scheme is based upon the census of 2011 and right now we are in 2023. So only 60% of the people of India are getting the benefit of this scheme, and rest of the 40% are outside this scheme. Means the 40% population of country is not covered under this scheme. But ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी 2022 में इसको डायरेक्शन दी थी, किसको? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को, कि दैट इसका जो NFSA है, मींस नेशनल फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट का बेसिस बढ़ाया जाए, मींस 100 मिलियन पीपल शुड बी कवर्ड अंडर इट. लेकिन इसका भी एक फ्लो ये है कि जो हमारे चाइल्ड हैं और जो चिल्ड्रन हैं वो लास्ट डिकेड में पैदा हुए हैं, they will not be covered under this. So basically the concern of the author is that there are some requirements which need to be addressed by this scheme. It means that this census should not be based upon 2011. This scheme should not cover only the people on the basis of the population of 2011 census. Rather, it should cover the latest census. But the problem is that government did not hold any census so far. तो जनरली क्या होता है, सेंसस मीन्स क्या होता है, पॉपुलेशन की काउंटिंग करना. तो जनरल रूल ये है कि एवरी 10 ईयर में पॉपुलेशन की काउंटिंग देश में होनी चाहिए. उससे हम लोगों को एक एक्चुअल सिचुएशन पता चलती है कि हम लोगों को कितने लोगों को फूड ग्रेन देना है या और कितने लोगों को किसी पर्टिकुलर गवर्नमेंट स्कीम का बेनिफिट देना है. लेकिन हमारे देश में अभी 2011 के बाद कोई सेंसस नहीं हुआ है, ठीक है. तो जिसकी वजह से क्या हो रहा है कि इफ गवर्नमेंट मेक्स एनी स्कीम, so that scheme is available to those person only who are covered or who have been counted under the 2011 census. But the person who took birth after the 2011, so they are not a beneficiary under these schemes. So this is the violation of their right to equality under Article 14 of the Constitution of India, and they are not getting the equal protection of laws. India's new proposal for migrant voting. There are concern. इसमें कुछ टर्म ही इंपॉर्टेंट है आप लोगों के लिए, सारा एडिटोरियल ये सारा न्यूज़ इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. एंड वन टर्म इज, तो बेसिकली राइट नाउ वी आर होल्डिंग द इलेक्शन. हम इलेक्शन मशीन के द्वारा कंडक्ट कराते हैं, ईवीएम मशीन. सो दिस वाज स्टार्टेड इन 1992, ठीक है. अब लेकिन यहाँ पर कंसर्न ये है कि सम ऑफ द पीपल आर रेजिंग एप्रीहेंशन दैट इट डज नॉट होल्ड द फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस. मींस अगर हम इलेक्शन ईवीएम के द्वारा होल्ड करते हैं तो ये फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस नहीं होते हैं. फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस आर द पार्ट ऑफ बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर एज हेल्ड बाय ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन द केस ऑफ इंदिरा नेहरू गांधी वर्सेस राजनारायण. So there was a landmark judgment of Honorable Supreme Court, namely इंदिरा नेहरू गांधी वर्सेस राजनारायण. और इस केस में ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था कि दैट फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस आर द पार्ट ऑफ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर, मींस इट कैन नॉट बी अमेंडेड बाय द पार्लियामेंट नाउ. बट इफ देर आर सम डाउट रिगार्डिंग द एक्यूरेसी of the EVM system, then it will be said that we are not ensured that we will have the free and fair election in the country. So some of the critics wants that we should adopt some other means of elections, and in this regard the views of various experts have been taken, but no expert says that if we will use any technical device, then there are apprehensions that it may not provide the free and fair elections. So the best way to hold the election is the ballot paper. So जो ballot paper से election होते हैं, this is the best way to hold the election, और उसमें corruption के chances काफ़ी कम है. अब यहाँ पर एक टर्म आती है, ये टर्म आपके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है, VVPAT. सो इसकी फुल फॉर्म आप लोग याद कर लेंगे, वोटर वेरीफाइड पेपर ट्रेल ऑडिट. अब ये होता क्या, थोड़ा हम समझ लेंगे इसको. तो जब कोई पर्सन वोट डालने के लिए जाता है, तो अब क्वेश्चन ये है कि सपोज मैं वोट डालने के लिए गया और उसमें वोटिंग मशीन में 4 वो लगे हुए हैं, निशान है. वन इज ऑफ सपोज दैट बीजेपी, कमल का फूल. अदर इज ऑफ कांग्रेस, हाथ का पंजा, ठीक है. थर्ड इज बीएसपी. अब सपोज दैट मैंने बीजेपी को वोट दिया, ठीक है. अब मुझे कैसे पता कि मेरा वोट बीजेपी को ही जाएगा, दिस इज द पॉइंट. तो इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए ये वोटर वेरीफाइड पेपर ट्रेल ऑडिट यूज किया जाता है. अब इसका पर्सन कंसर्न ये होता है, इसका फंक्शन ये होता है कि जैसे ही कोई भी पर्सन उस पर्टिकुलर बटन को दबाएगा, जिस पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को वो वोट देना चाहता है या जिस कैंडिडेट को वो वोट देना चाहता है, वहीं पर यहाँ पर पेपर पे ये इंफॉर्मेशन मीन्स जिसको वोट गई है वो प्रिंट होके आती है, ठीक है. और उससे मुझे पता चल जाता है एज ए वोटर कि दैट माय वोट हैज़ गॉन टू दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी और टू दिस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन. बट दिस इज नॉट 100% सिक्योर, ठीक है. सो देर आर सम एप्रीहेंशंस रिगार्डिंग द फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस in our country. most of the people are demanding that it should be held by ballot paper. Now, SC bench questions utility of advanced medical directives. So, there was a judgment. The name was Common Cause versus Union of India. This was the case of 2018, and in this case, Honorable Supreme Court enunciated the concept of living will and recognized that every person has the right to die with dignity. Every person has the right to die with dignity. But now the questions are before Honorable Supreme Court that who will decide. The concept of living will was applicable. So suppose a person is healthy today, so he has right to make a will in this regard that if in future he becomes in a vegetative or he goes to a vegetative state or in coma, okay, or any other medical condition in which there are no possibility that he will return back to the life, so at that point of time he may make his will that he should be allowed to die. So this is known as euthanasia. So euthanasia is of two kinds. One is active, other is passive. Active means doctors may kill a person by giving him some poison or by some other kind of medicine, and passive means the life supporting system on which he is sustaining is switched off. तो जिस लाइफ सपोर्टिंग सिस्टम पर वो पर्सन जिंदा है, जैसे कि होता है हमारा आईसीयू होता है या वेंटिलेटर होता है, जिसकी वजह से वो जिंदा होता है, उस इंस्ट्रूमेंट को हम बंद कर देते हैं. तो दिस इज पैसिव. सो पैसिव इज अलाउड एंड एक्टिव इज नॉट अलाउड. अब यहाँ पर ऑनरेबल कोर्ट के कंसर्न ये हैं कि इस बात को कौन डिसाइड करेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि अगर कोई पर्सन कोमा में एक बार चला गया है तो उसके वापस आने के चांसेस नहीं है, ये कौन डिसाइड करेगा. और अगर ये बात, क्योंकि ये डिसाइड करना इज नॉट वेरी इजी कि क्या कोई पर्सन अगर कोमा में चला गया है तो उसको मार ही देना चाहिए, ठीक है. सो ऐसी पॉसिबिलिटी भी हो सकती है कि कोई पर्सन अगर कोमा में गया है देन दैट पर्सन में कम बैक और में रिटर्न बैक टू हिज नॉर्मल लाइफ. लेकिन अगर कोई पर्सन कोमा में है और हमने उसको मार दिया तो वी कमिटेड एन ऑफेंस, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पर ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट वांट टू रिव्यू इट्स ऑन जजमेंट, दैट इज द कॉमन कॉज वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया. और इसमें ये फाइनल एक डिटेल देना चाहते हैं कि किन किन सर्कमस्टेंसेस में दिस राइट टू लिविंग विल शुड बी अलाउड और द कंसेप्ट ऑफ पैसिव euthanasia शुड बी अलाउड. So basically at present we are not having the detailed guidelines in this regard. So that's all for today, my dear student. I will come again with the next latest The Hindu News. Till then, thank you very much. Goodbye.